Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we are talking about the best and worst mates in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel based on my own criteria, which is basically whatever I find interesting. Yeah, there's no real criteria to this list, unlike most of my other lists, but honestly, I just saw this and was like, I have to do this right now, and it is currently like 2 in the morning, so I am of well and sound mind. So this will be fun. Yeah, I believe this is like an updated list as well, so we have a lot of the newer stuff that has been released since the release of the game, as opposed to what previous lists may have had. So, very simple, S to F. And let's start off with Ash Blossom. I really don't like this mate. It's really bad. Mostly because I feel like it's not like an interesting mate in any capacity. I feel like there are so many mates that just do this but better. Like, it kind of does stuff, but it doesn't really look good. Any of like the humanoid ones, I just find, as you'll probably see throughout this list, I just find they're not very good. But also, it's annoying, pretty much. Pot of Greed. The only reason I have to put this in F tier is because of the fact that so often this mate in particular ends up paired with the Upstart Goblin icon and a terrible, no good, very bad deck. Something like Stun or in FTK or something like that that is just so obnoxious to play against. And I just can't stand it. Every time I see this, I panic. And I'm just like, no! Because it's that annoying. This is literally the baseline. It is the very beginning, beginner mate. And that is exactly what it is. Same with the Raven. I have no feelings about this. Sangan I like a little bit more. It's a little interesting. It floats away when you start a duel, which is very funny. Imduck. Imduck I'm going to put into A as well. This isn't Imduck. This is Guard Dragon. But beside the point, it's Doggo. It's a good Doggo. There are better Doggos on the list, and S is reserved for the best of Doggos. This is a good one, though, but it is a painful thing to attack because then it makes a sound where it's like a yelping dog, and I don't like that. That's mean. Moki Moki is funny in theory. In practice, it's just bad. It doesn't do anything. Same with Book of Moon. Book of Moon literally doesn't do anything. It just sits there. It's a book. Have it open. Do anything with that. Jackalope, I have literally no feelings for it. It's going in B tier. Yeah, it is a mate that exists. Instant Ramen's funny. The Scapegoat is also, oh, it's so bad. It doesn't do anything. Same with Shard of Greed. It literally does nothing. Okay. I know I'm about to piss some people off with this one. I cannot stand the Laundry Dragon. Look, it's deluxe. I get that. I understand. It's bad. Do you want to know why it's bad? Because I see it every single game. I am so sick and tired of this stupid, terrible mate. It's not even that good. Like, I get that it's a deluxe, but I genuinely see this mate more than any other mate combined. I'm so sick of it. If it were something that I saw less, I think I'd be okay. But pick a different one. I don't care which one. Just pick anything else, please. There are many better mates, which I will explain. Stratos. I actually do like this one. I think this one is one of the few that, like, I personally don't like heroes, but this mate is actually pretty well done. It actually looks good, which is nice. It mostly looks a lot better in-game. Like, right here, it looks really, really stupid. But in-game, it actually looks really good, which is very, very nice. Bitron is just, it's so mediocre. It doesn't do anything. It just sits there. Same with Hedgehog. Quillbolt Hedgehog is one of my favorite cards of all time, genuinely. I am a 5Ds fanboy, and so Quillbolt Hedgehog I love. And they did my boy dirty. It looks pretty mid. It doesn't do anything. It's not very interesting in game. It doesn't really have anything going for it. Vendred is one of the first S tiers. This is so clean. It is a clean, design, it looks incredible. It has some very nice animations and movements and stuff like that, and it never feels like it's too much, but it also is like, it's like just that perfect amount of sauce, right? You just get everything from it's a full package, and it's cool. It's a cool full package. Gazelle, I also want to put into S tier simply because of its high quality. It is one of the best looking mates, just like visually, but it's not really all that interesting when you like interact with it or anything like that. It kind of just sits there. It does a little bit of gallops here and there. I really don't like what it does when it when the duel starts, which is mostly when I see them. So it's good. It's very clean, but it's not the best. Same with the jack-o'-lantern. Ghost Trick Jack-o'-lantern has a very, very similar vibe to the Gazelle, and yeah, they're just clean. They look good. This one's a little bit more funny. This one's a little bit more cool. And there you go. Marshmallow, I'm sorry, you are so bad. You're just bad. White baking is funny. That's kind of it. Yeah, I don't really have anything else. Okay, Toad is S tier. It's two frogs stacked on top of each other. They do a flip when you load into a duel. Also, when you win, they make the most pleasant of sounds. They just cheer you on. It's awesome. And they're adorable. They stick their tongue out and stuff like that. It's great. It's great. Toad is great. Karibo's cute, but he kind of doesn't do anything. This is one of the worst deluxe. If this wasn't deluxe, I probably would put it higher, honestly. The Champion Gearfried, or is it Champion Gearfried? What is it? The Gaia, the Dragon Champion Knight, or something along those lines, is super mid. It just does not look good. I see so few people use it because I think basically all of them have realized that it's bad. It's bad. This one's, in theory, funny. In practice, it just looks terrible and doesn't even do anything. This is supposed to be Maui Interceptor Cannon or something like that, and it doesn't do anything. It just sits there. I guess it technically, like, fires off a laser, but same with this one. This one, also, Galatea is a cool card. I do like Galatea as a card. This is, honestly, I'm going to put this in F tier. It is so bad. It looks so bad. All the time. Humanoid-esque features just don't look good as mates. They just don't. I don't know why. They just don't. That's why things like Vendrid, where it's like technically humanoid, but not like a human face or anything like that, and the frog are like clear up here. I don't know. Sushi is you know, it's there. I really like the Sprite Blue. It's very clean. It's very, like, well made, basically. And its animations are fairly decent. It's okay. I'm actually, I want to put this down here, but it's like, I definitely feel like it's better than like Karibo or anything like this. It's not just middle of the pack. It's not. It's above average. Not that much above average, but it's above average at the very least. Gamma exists. That one exists. Cross Sheep is so bad. Cross Sheep is a. I don't. It's bad. Yeah. I don't have anything else to say. I just don't like it. I think it looks funky. Okay, it's not. It's not actually all that bad. I'm not. Just. I don't know. I feel like I feel like it was supposed to be so much better than it was. I thought it would be so much better. I thought it would be like Toad 2, and then it wasn't. It just wasn't. And now I'm sad. Gecko's a gecko. Hanzo's whatever. It's he just stands there looking cool. Doggo. This is best Doggo. This is best Doggo. Oh, look, it's right above the other Doggo. The Abomination is so cool looking. It looks incredible. I don't know how they got so much detail into this And some of the other ones you'll see down the line are just not nearly as detailed. It looks so good, and it spins. It spins. Best doggo. Best doggo. Absolutely. I actually really like this Gen X one. It's pretty good. I say really like, but yeah, I'll put it up there. Hungry Burger is funny. Shureg should have been so much more. Here's the thing. I've put none of the deluxe ones very high. They just don't look. They just don't look good. Like most of the time, the deluxe ones they just don't look good. Shureg should be so much higher. Shureg is my favorite card of all time. As a mate, it is so mediocre. Because its activation requirement to actually transform, like the others, is you have to be low on life points. Which just doesn't happen very often. Right? The second thing is that he starts with his mask off. So in your duel, or as you get into your duel, he has his mask off until he goes into the duel where he puts it on. And let me tell you, it's terrible. Again, a human face does not work. It doesn't work in a mate. And you can see that most notably, I think, with Shureg. It looks uncanny. It looks pretty bad. Oviraptor is really well done. It's very clean. I don't like dinosaurs. I have not used this mate personally, but every time I've seen it, it's been very, very clean. The new... what is this one called? I want to call it Azurize. It's not Azurize. Chaos Max. Chaos Max Dragon. It looks pretty decent. It's not insane. It's not my favorite. It looks, at the very least, it looks clean. But, like, it also kind of has a weird stance. And there are, like, pros and cons to its look. So, I feel like it's a pretty middle of the road mate. I haven't seen enough of this Fling Wingman. I'm just not going to do that. I literally haven't seen it. It came out, like, yesterday for me. Okay, that's not entirely true, but I just haven't seen it, so I'm not going to judge that one. All of these ones are terrible. I get that they are like, oh, haha, hee-ha, the car's a little bit funny, yeah, I'm not going to lie. Everything else is, like, nonsense and not at all remotely interesting. Look, if you like sports, that's fine. You can use these as your mate. That's fine. They're just not great mates. Like, let's be honest. They're not. At least the car goes like beep beep. Which is kind of interesting. All of the rest of these are just like stationary objects. I think the basketball like bounces and stuff like that. Blue Eyes I have to put into F tier. They did my boy Blue Eyes so dirty. Like, very clearly, with the Chaos Max, you can see a clean rendition of what the Blue Eyes archetype could be in mate form, at the very least, right? And Blue Eyes White Dragon looks like he's made of clay. He looks like a child's toy, but like a knockoff one from like McDonald's. It does not look good at all. I like Blue Eyes. It's one of my favorite. I've mentioned this a lot, but like legitimately, it has my favorite artwork in the game. Blue Eyes White Dragon is my favorite artwork in the game. And yeah, it doesn't come across in the mate. It looks really clunky. Clunky is like a good word to describe this Blue Eyes. I'm gonna put Dark Magician right next to it. Human face. It just doesn't work. I don't know why they didn't like think about this, but genuinely, both of the iconic monsters for Yu-Gi-Oh! Got mates for this game, and both of them look like they are made of clay. They look like they are knockoff children's playthings. They just do not look good, right? For Dark Magician, it's the uncanny valley in the face, and the weird shenanigans that go on with his movements and his overall aesthetic and all of that stuff. It just doesn't look or transfer very well to a mate. And so because of that, they're so bad. Trish is fine. It's okay. It's pretty middle of the road. Yeah, I don't really have anything there. Wyvern was the best one for a really long time. Like, genuinely. And then we started actually getting good mates, and now Wyvern is no longer the best one. However, both Infinity and Boral Load are very similar. This is Boral Sword? I don't know. Whichever Boral this one is. They were very similar. In the early stages of Master Duel, when they like first were released, they were fairly decent, and now they are pretty lackluster. There are just better mates at this point. But yeah, that's going to be it. Obviously, this is subjective. You can like whatever you want. I don't really care. If you think that this one is fantastic, please just don't use it. Just use something else for like a week. For my sake. But yeah, honestly, like, it's entirely subjective. Maybe you just like the funny hee hee ha ha car, or you think that the blue eyes actually does look fairly decent. But for me, I think that these three... Frog is obviously a gimmick. Totally Awesome is obviously a gimmick. But it's adorable. It's the cutest one, at least in my mind. Whereas these two, I think, just actually look the cleanest. They just look very, very good. And overall, I feel like they are the most well-made. Same with a lot of A tier. It's just, they're very clean. They're very, very well-made. They translate very well to being a mate and stuff like that. And so, yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, like us very much so, appreciate it. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.